Welcome to another video from Wildflower Guitar Co. An acoustic guitar setup. How I set up an acoustic guitar. This thing's gorgeous. You're going to want to see it. Hey, turn around and say hi. Yeah, no, don't come over. Time for a 2-second magic trick. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Abraca guitar, and this guitar is a Washburn EAF. It belongs to a friend of the shop. He brought it in for a setup today, so that's exactly what we're going to do. You gotta admire the beautiful flame maple on this guitar top. It looks good now, but it'll look great after the hand polish, so make sure you stick around for that coming up shortly in the video. First I loosen all the strings, then I take my handy bridge pin pulling tool here, and I go from the low E string all the way down to the high string, trying to keep the pegs in order. That way I put them in the exact same way that I took them out. Is that completely necessary? Probably not, but I do it for good measure. I remove the old strings, winding them neatly so they don't jab me in the finger later, and then I take a microfiber cloth and start cleaning and wiping down the entire body and the fretboard all the way up to the headstock. This cruddy fretboard has seen much better days, so we're going to take care of it while we're at it. I take a sharp razor blade and I go with the grain, swiping down and swiping up, never across the grain. I don't want to cut it, I just want to scrape all that old gunk off of there. I start at the top of the fretboard and work my way all the way down until I get to the very last fret, but I'll speed it up for you. This might be a good time to mention the video on the 100-year-old parlor guitar that I worked on. It was a very sentimental piece for the customer, and I think they were happy overall. I'll leave a tag to this video up in the top right corner. Here's a closer look at the fretboard after I got done scraping. You can see all the gunk there that I scraped up, but it's already looking better. This fretboard has gone from good to better and now to best. I've got my Dunlop 65 lemon scented fretboard conditioner here, and I am just conditioning the fretboard starting all the way at the top fret, working my way down towards the bridge and making sure I get good coverage of this fretboard conditioner in between every fret. I'll speed it up here a little bit for you and take this opportunity to remind you to check out shorts from Wildflower Guitar Co. They're pretty cool. The only other part that's not finished on this acoustic guitar is the bridge, so I go ahead and put some of that lemon oil on that to make it pop as well, and make sure it has enough moisture to keep from cracking too. Now that I've let that fretboard conditioner set for a little bit, I take a clean rag and wipe off any of the excess. I don't want it to pool up or puddle. I just want it to soak in for a little bit, and I wipe off the bridge as well. That way there's no puddling, and it makes sure everything is evenly coated and make sure everything is getting in those cracks and in those spots correctly. Next, I take my Octopus 8-in-1 tool from Nomad Music. I use it to tighten the nuts on the tuners. This video is not sponsored by Nomad Music, but this is a pretty cool tool to have in your tool belt. It has a Phillips and a flathead screwdriver, as well as multiple sized box wrenches. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Now that we've tightened all the nuts, I take a clean rag and spray some of my Dunlop 65 guitar polish on there. Try to get down in all the nooks and crannies where all the dust has built up over the years, and try to give this headstock a clean, fresh look. I make sure to go over the logo at the top, get down by the nut and in that crack, as well as taking this time to hand polish up the tuners. And now a word from our sponsor. Hey, Braxton here. I just wanted to take a minute out of the video to say thank you. Wildflower Guitar Co. is fully supported by viewers just like you who like, comment, and share this content. If you like what you see and want to find more videos like this, consider hitting subscribe. It's free and it really helps out the channel. Also, click the bell icon to be notified when future updates are posted. There's a lot going on with Wildflower Guitar Co. right now, and I hope you're there to see it with me. Now, without further ado, let's get back to the video. Time to tackle this maple. I've got my Dunlop number 65 guitar polish here, spraying it onto a clean rag again. Taking my time trying to get all the smudges and streaks off of this guitar, some of the caked in dirt spots, paint chips where it's bumped up against things. Anything that I see that is a blemish on this guitar top, I'm going to take my time and try to scrub it off and try to make sure there are no streaks whenever I'm finished. The guitar polish helps the shine for sure, but this microfiber cloth, scrubbing it as well, really gets your shine. And just look at this mirror finish. Wow. I can almost see myself. We've got the headstock, we've got the fretboard, and now we've got the body. Time to string this bad boy up. I break out my bulk shop box of Diodario phosphor bronze strings going through 17 to 25. And I'm very picky about this next part. Pay close attention to how I put my strings on the guitar inside the bridge. First thing I do is slide the guitar string into the body, then slide the bridge pin in, pushing it all the way down and seating it down to the bridge, and then pulling up on the string and pulling that ball end all the way up to the bottom side of that bridge pin. That way I get a good connection, and when I go to tune the string doesn't slip and keep coming out of tune. This will make a big difference when you're putting strings on your guitar, and you'll be amazed on how well it makes your guitar sound and how well it makes it feel. I repeat this same process 6 times. If you can notice here, I'm alternating sides. That way my tension is going on the nut at the top evenly. I've had past experience with guitar nuts flying across the room because I put all the strings on one side instead of alternating it. May not be completely necessary, but that's just a trick I've picked up. Now that I've got all the strings on and everything seems fine, it's time for me to tune this guy up. I start with the bottom string, the high E string, work my way up to B, G, D, A, and E, and get all of them in tune as best I can. After I get it tuned up, I've got one more adjustment to make, and I hope you stick around to see that. At the very end of the video, I'll be playing this guitar just to give you an overall sound sample of this thing and let you know how it sounds. This is a very well playing guitar, and I'm excited for you to hear it. I've got this guitar tuned up. Now it's time to give it a little haircut up here at the top. Many people have many different ways for doing this. I like to leave mine about a 1/2 inch long. This way, if I ever need to reuse the string, I can. Now it's time to adjust the action on this thing. I hold it up and look from the bridge all the way down the neck, lining it up as if I'm drawing a bead. Next, I come in with my Truss Rod adjustment tool. Just slide the Allen wrench into the nut and slowly and slightly make an adjustment. Not a lot of pressure. I take another look at it again to see if it's caused any relief one way or the other. And then once I can see what has happened from that adjustment, I set it down to make another one. Repeating the same steps from the previous process, I stick the Allen key in, slowly turn it, not putting a lot of pressure. And now it's time for a sound check. Let's hear how it sounds. If you're still here at the end of this video, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for watching this week's video, Acoustic Guitar Setup, how I set up an acoustic guitar. If you like this video, be sure to check out other videos just like it over on the channel. Until next time, thanks. Bye.